What's up, YouTube? What a clown world we live in, and it's just getting worse, okay? Now we're being told by the current administration that unless you have a jab card, and unless you've had your jab, and I have to speak in code for various reasons, then you can't go places, then you can't travel. If you don't have the jab passport, you're basically confined to stay in your home until you get the jab and you're able to provide evidence that you got it. And yes, for those of you that thought that you could fake it and get your own fake passport or fake confirmation of getting the jab, they're going to make it digitalized, and there's nothing you can do about it except try to wake other people up to what is going on in this current agenda. So with no further ado, we're going to read an article from USA Today, and it is very eye-opening. All right, when I first read this, I was just like, it blew my mind. But I knew this was coming, and I knew what was to come with all these new agendas that are being pushed out. So this shouldn't surprise you if you have actually taken the true RP and you dive into things deeper than just female and male relationships and how those have been affected. So the title of this article is "Honor System Paper Cards Won't Cut It for the Jab Verification," expert says. Jab passports are coming. They're going to get it in your skin one way or another, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, there is, and we'll talk about that later. No shirt, no shoes, no jab, no service. This is the agenda. That's the future critics of V-Passport's fear as Americans V'd against CV can safely live more normal lives, including spending time in most indoor settings without a covering over their face. The notion that a passport could separate the V'd from the unV'd has sparked fears of a dystopian future where people's health decisions would limit where they could travel, where they could shop, what events they could attend, and whether they would be asked to wear a covering. Many states have taken a stand against that possibility. Alaska, Arizona, Florida, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, Texas, and Wyoming have all moved to restrict the use of V-passports, and thank God for those states. Even more states have signaled they're not interested in launching any such program. And notice all of these states, Alaska, Arizona, Florida, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, Texas, Wyoming, they're red states. They're red. We see the states that are blue that want this to continue. All these shutdowns. They want you shut down and locked down. And we've seen what this does to mental health. But do they care? Do the people at the top care about your mental health? My mental health? No, they do not. This is a power trip for them. This, I believe, is the beginning of what is to come, and this is a rollout test on the population. The residents of our state should not be required by the government to share their private medical information. Absolutely. They're already in our phones. They're already watching us. Why do they need to be in our medical history inside of our bodies, putting things inside of us? The jab is up to each individual, not the government, Doug Ducey, Arizona's Republican governor, said in a statement in April. Idaho Governor Brad Little, a Republican, went even further in his criticism. Jab passports create different classes of citizens. Absolutely. Many public health experts are exasperated by the controversy, given that Americans have long been expected to provide proof of jabs in some circumstances. They're always pushing that. It started with the flu shot, and now it's moving towards this. They're going to get whatever they need inside you, and if you don't get it, you won't be able to do anything. It's not a new idea that you would document whether or not you've been jabbed and share that information at certain points, said Rebecca Fielding Miller, a professor at the Herbert Wertheim School of Public Health at the University of California, San Diego. This is something we already do, she said. Yes, they do have record of all this if you have done this. Schools typically require students to get the jab, and proof of the jab has long been a staple of international travel. Though critics fear the technology could be used to restrict the daily freedoms of Americans, few health experts expect or want that. What is a jab passport? This is where we get into it right here. What is this that they are pushing on us as a population without our consent? A jab passport has become an ill-defined buzzword for jab verification. Though there are many programs in the works, none has launched as a national or international standard. There is no jab passport right now. Dr. Jay Wolfson, a public health expert at the University of South Florida, told USA Today on Thursday. Paper cards from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention that are easy to fake and hard to put in a wallet or purse have served as the default verification method. Wolfson expects something else to take their place soon, especially for international travel. Since there is no federal jab database that you know of, the logistics of verifying a person's jab status are a challenge. Obtaining jab documentation beyond the CDC card would require navigating a patchwork of systems and regulations that vary between states. Further complicating matters, states' jab passport bans may extend to issuing documentation for the purpose of providing proof of jabs, as in the case in Florida. Wolfson said state governments' bans show that jab verification programs will probably not be widely run by states, but businesses, most notably cruise lines, are increasingly motivated to find ways to keep their customers safe. Some will seek out technologies to verify customers' jab status. And here we have a proof and example of one of the cruise lines that is doing this. In a high-profile example, the parent company of Norwegian Cruise Line announced in April it would require all passengers and crew on its ships to be 100% jabbed 2 weeks before boarding. After cruise ships became ground zero for the deadly outbreak early in the PD, it makes sense the business would want to be as squeaky clean as possible, Wolfson said. They don't want this to happen again. International travel, schools, colleges, some workplaces, so you won't have work unless you get this jab, and some large events probably have an interest in keeping jab rates high and are prime areas for jab verification. Retail, restaurants, and daily activities are less likely to require jab verification for now. And we're already seeing this happen slowly yet surely. And we're seeing these companies and these businesses that are controlled by you know who that are offering rewards, money, gifts just to get a jab and provide proof. It's absolutely the fact that humans are falling for this, the little glitz and glamour of prizes that these corporations give to you that they pay less than a penny for just for you to get a jab is disgusting, that people are willing to trade in their rights and privacies as humans just for little prizes. Disgusting. In general, there's little appetite in the public health community for a future where an app-based passport, possibly controlled by a tech company, would regulate Americans' ability to do everyday activities such as go to the grocery store. Can you believe that, guys? Some of you listening and watching this might think this is far-fetched, that this couldn't possibly happen in our lifetime, that we won't allow this to happen, but what have they made us do for the past year and a half so far? They've made us walk around like this. And if you don't do that, they have their sheeple that pull you aside and shame you. They don't even need the police officers anymore. They don't need security to hold you accountable. They have controlled the minds of these sheep so that they don't have to do the work. The sheep will tell you to put your mask on. The sheep will call you out. they'll try to shame you into not being controlled by these people at the top. And if you don't listen, they'll call the police on you. I've seen videos of men getting thrown out of sporting events because their mask was below their nose for a split second and they didn't want to pull it up. And it wouldn't surprise me if we saw a jab verification app where you had to walk up to wherever you're going and provide proof with a barcode, a QR code, which is what they've got you accustomed to using now, in order to have access to certain places, events, jobs, even to get interviews. It would not surprise me whatsoever, because whatever they want you to take, whatever is in this thing, they want everyone to have it in them. And I'm going to speak out against it. So you make the decision of what you want to do with your body, your choice. I've made my decision and I will speak out against it until I go to the grave and until it's my time to come home. But that's a decision you have to make. You have parents out here jabbing up their kids with no remorse, not even really thinking about the long-term effects of this. We haven't even seen the long-term effects of this. You're just sticking up your kids. It's a crazy world we live in. But because you're watching this information, because you're well informed, and the guys that follow this channel, the guys that watch this content, you're well informed, you're critical thinkers. Don't be fooled. Don't be manipulated. And don't fall into the line of the sheep that are being led to the slaughter when this thing gets out of control. Because it's coming. This is just a rollout. Have a blessed rest of your day. Drop a like, share this video so other people get this information, and hit that subscribe button if you're new and you enjoy content like this. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.